Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Early Care Connection. I'm Izzy Greenberg. We are joined, of course, by Ava and Meryl, and we are doing a really informal call this morning. Thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you to Sandra for providing interpretation. And we are, the problem we're going to have this morning is that everyone's always muted. So this is just going to be on all of us to police ourselves, make sure you're muted. And then when it's your time to speak, you can unmute yourself. So we just wanted to do a gratitude session this morning. This community has been coming together since March, 16th, 2020. We were doing 3 times a week for the first, year and a half. Then we were doing 2 times a week for another year. I know I was zooming in from all kinds of campgrounds. You guys put up with all kinds of weird stuff when we were figuring out our Zoom and not knowing how to do this. And then registration closed because we didn't know we had a max and we broke our Zoom. I mean, all kinds of things have happened over this time. Now we've been doing once a week for maybe the last year and something. But anyway, this community is amazing. And we always have special guests, but today's special guest is you all. And just wanted
to can he go find somebody else?
That space for everyone to express, what this community means for you, to you. Tell us a story, whatever you want to share, and let's just be together. I'm going to start by sharing something. Someone who couldn't come this morning. I'm putting it in the chat, and I will also, maybe Ava, you could stick that in Spanish as well. Let me tell you who it's from, actually. Hold on one second. So this is from Barbara at, here, I'll put all of her information in so that you guys know who it is. Here we go. All right, that's from Barbara, who is the director at Hilltop Christian Early Learning Center. And she says, I so want to join the group today. I must cover in the classroom for a teacher with COVID. You all know that. I want to say thank you to the members and administrators for all you've done these past 4 years. COVID is still here, and this avenue for information is so important for those of us not able to leave our buildings. Wishing everyone a blessed holiday. So thank you, to Barbara for getting us started. And I don't know, let's see how we can do this. You guys could raise hands if you prefer, or you could just unmute and speak, and I'm sure we'll figure it out. So I will, I'll leave it open to someone else to jump in next. Barb, I muted you just because we could hear your radio maybe in the car. And I can do that. Does anybody want to raise their hand or jump in?
I can share something. This is Carol. I'm school readiness in Norwalk, and I'm just being really brief, but I got this role in 2022 and probably started joining these in spring, summer of 2022. And in addition to, along with this meeting and also meeting with the liaisons, really has gotten me through because there's been so much information and so much change and so many people to meet throughout the state, and who helps with what, and care for kids and background checks and all the things that come with this role in Connecticut, and trying to be supportive. It was so nice to have these sort of grounding meetings on Monday with this group. And if you guys don't always have the answers, you get the answers, but it was just kind of a community, to help kind of keep me going. And so and many of the people on this call I've probably never met, but just wanted to say it's been incredibly helpful to me for the past 2 years.
Thanks, Carol. Who wants to go next? Then thank you for being brave and starting us off.
I'll follow up with Carol since she's my office mate.
Great. Good morning, Mary.
But I mean, I've been on these calls totally through COVID. It was a great comfort to have this grounding of knowing that you had somewhere to go, even if you were going outside of your home. And also now it's nice to know that on Monday morning, I mean, I think we're all so separate and are part of such a fragmented system, it's really nice to have kind of that grounding, especially on a Monday morning. And our town still has an every other week call on Friday mornings. And that too is a great space, very similar to this, that I think everybody needs those connections. So I always appreciate everybody's knowledge and expertise and the great speakers that you have on Monday mornings and all that you guys do to make this happen. Because I know there's some behind the scenes stuff. Really appreciate everybody. And so I'm wishing you all a wonderful holiday.
Yes, go ahead. I'm muting people as they go. Mary, would you just say we missed the last part?
Oh, I guess I just wished everybody a nice holiday.
Oh, great. Thank you. All right, who wants to go next?
I'm happy to go next. I'm Tracy Madden Hennessy, and I'm the CEO of YWCA in New Britain, and I'm sitting here with Ann Sousa, who's our childcare director. I would echo what Mary was saying, that it really has and was helpful during COVID, and continues to be helpful in terms of answering questions and getting a real pulse on what is happening in the field. I also want to say thank you to the Alliance and to Ava and others on this call who helped us. We started operating our incubator this year, and really we wouldn't have gotten the legislation passed if we didn't have partners here on this call who supported that effort. And so to all of you, I also wish you all a happy holiday, and thanks so much.
Thanks, Tracy. Joanne.
Hi, I'm Joanne Kelleher. I'm the Executive Director of the Early Childhood Collaborative in Southington. And I know that you keep track of how many people attend these calls, but I wanted to remind you that the reach of these calls goes far beyond that. There are rarely I see folks from Southington participating because they're busy in the classrooms. But I take the information that I learn on these calls and share it with them, either through email or like in Mary's town. I used to hold townwide calls once a week during COVID. We're down to once a month now. But a lot of the information that I share comes from these Monday morning calls. So I appreciate that. It makes my job easier. And it's nice to see people's faces on this call this morning.
Yeah, thanks, Joanne. And as a reminder, we also have those videos do get watched. You know, sometimes we'd share the videos and 2 or 3 people would watch, but over time, then it was 60 and sometimes it's 100. And, you know, I know that more and more people watch these videos over time. And so, you know, I think even as we've held steady with a lot of attendance every week, and that is one metric. Who watches the videos is another metric, but you're right. There is a trickle effect of everyone getting the same information in a week and being able to implement something quickly. And, you know, just across the state, it can happen because you all know something, you hear something from Office of Early Childhood, the health department, whoever it is, and you can immediately put it into action across the state. I think it's quite remarkable, actually. Ava.
To echo Joanne, I was looking at the YouTube channel and how many people watch Clarissa's Battle, and we also did a coding behind the link to just know how many people opened the link for Clarissa's Battle. And between our live call, YouTube for the panel discussion, and the Clarissa's Battle, we're close to 500 views, and that's pretty amazing within one call, 1 week of just us interacting. So Joanne, you're totally right. The information is not just, you know, the 200 who's on live, but a wide network of people just looking for community. Can I go next? Is that okay?
Yeah, please do.
I feel like this call changed my life. I know that sounds a little dramatic, but I've always in my organizing career, and I think a lot of you who know me know this, gravitate to things that have to do with education equity. And early care to me means just that. It means an opportunity for every single family, despite income level, background, having an opportunity to compete in this market that is life, right? Survival and being able to be proud of a career. Little kids might not see it that way, but I know many of you who are educators and in the classroom, the time, the compassion that you put in to teaching children, from the simplest things of, empathy and understanding your own emotions to the more complicated things like cleaning your behind. Those are all things that are very, very valuable. So I appreciate you all. Thank you for sharing and sharing the opportunity to visit your locations, but sharing this online community. So thank you guys.
Seva? Yes, it is. All of that, can you imagine if those things weren't happening? We'd be in big trouble. All right, who's up next? And yeah, I just looked at the early care connection and I hadn't looked at it in a little while, but some of those videos are getting 250, 300 views. I mean, that's remarkable for our small little Connecticut community. So, all right, who's up? You can either raise your hand with that raise hand function, or if your camera's on, I probably will see you. You can also just unmute.
Hi, I'm gonna go. Hi, I'm Francesca Velasquez, and I am very thankful for this community just because I've learned a lot. And it's educated me more on what needs to be done and how things work. And it's also shown me that, and I keep saying it, that it's shown me that together we're better. So that if we, kind of unite all our voices for this one thing, whatever it is, right? It could be little or big. It might take some time, but we get there. So I'm grateful, and I've met so many people, and I get calls all the time with questions or me helping them or them helping me. Like I feel like I have a network where I could just call someone and ask a question if I'm not understanding something, or I could email someone and just say, can I get a little bit more detail on this? So, yes.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Francesca. Yeah, this is an incredible community. This has always been an incredible community. But I think that in part because of all of you deciding that this call was going to be the place where, I mean, this happened not because of, Ava, Meryl, Liz, me. We just started the first one. This happened because you all said, no, this is something important, and we're going to show up, and we're going to figure out how it's going to work, and we're going to tell you what we need, and can continue to connect with each other. This is a real group effort, and everyone built this, which is so awesome. Meryl, you want to go?
Sure. I have the connection to the national organizations like the Alliance and Voices that, and we gathered a couple of weeks ago, spam, of course, calls right when in the middle of it. And just hearing from other states about how, we were really the first state to do this kind of a regular call. Massachusetts now has a 9:30 call that they do every morning for half an hour on the phone. Or I guess it's a Zoom meeting as well. But and then I still hear from other states who are like, wait a moment, you get 200 people on a call every week? How the heck do you do that? I am sort of continually amazed and delighted with the participation in this. And I know that it's a combination of community and information, and it is also a place where we can do activism together. It is a place where we have been able to, tell a state agency, no, that isn't going to work that way. You've got to make it easier. You know, we've been able to hear from all of you about what's going on in the field that, you know, we wouldn't have heard sitting in our offices in Hartford or wherever. And that has been immensely helpful. I mean, I would say from my work, being able to put out a link to a survey and get 150 people responding to it the first day, is just that's remarkable. And I just have to thank all of you for what you do every day, and then the fact that you do this added effort to be here with us and to participate in the statewide activism that we all know is needed to be able to move this field and to get the resources that we need to be able to make the system really what it should be. You know, a place where parents can easily access quality care, where the people who are working in the field are paid the wages they should be, and that we can have a system that really works together as opposed to lots of little fragments scattered about. So, thank you.
Thanks, Meryl. Who hasn't had a chance to speak that would like to?
I'll go next. Hello, I'm
Great.
Davette Stevens from Stanford. I just want to say that I appreciate this group because I really think a lot of stuff happens in OEC and you guys are able to break it down so that it's understandable, first of all, whether it be regulations or just things that happen to us as providers or things that we need to work towards. Having a group that is really concerned about us is worth, you know, more than you could even imagine, because everybody doesn't understand how all these processes work, and being able to have somebody to explain it to us that it makes sense is a great help for a lot of us.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Javette. I think that this goes kind of all ways, because there's also so many issues that the people who are just, you know, advocates, this is like, they're not working in a center. They don't necessarily, as Meryl said, they don't necessarily understand how something is affecting you all, unless you're saying it, and being able to come together every week and say, oh, you didn't realize this was like this, like, okay, let's talk about it. That, you know, has been totally transformational. You're welcome to put things in the chat, and if you put them in Spanish, I will translate them to English and vice versa. So, all right, who's up next? Maria, you're unmuted. Are you wanting to say something?
Oh, que acabo de abrir la computadora. Buenos días a todos. Feliz Thanksgiving para todos. Estamos bien por aquí, preparándonos para el pavito.
That sounds great. Thanks, Maria.
You, Daddy.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Joining the dance.
Natalie, I think that's coming from you.
Amazing grace.
I apologize.
No problem. You want to say something while you're unmuted?
Good morning, everyone. I just getting on. I was having a hard time getting on, so I'm not sure why. Yeah.
We made it a meeting and it messed everything up. And so
okay.
this is a flexible community. So here we are. And hopefully
Thank you.
next week when we come back again, we won't be too messed up again, but fingers crossed, everyone. You might have to look at the ECE listserv just for instructions if something goes wrong next week. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Would you like to join in and say anything to the group?
No, I wasn't prepared.
I don't think she knows what the
Dale
meeting-
las
Oh, okay,
gracias.
sorry,
No.
Natalie, because you just joined.
Yes.
People were coming off mute and just saying, you know, what they were appreciative of. Thank you, Francesca, in this community. But yes, sit back, just relax and enjoy the nice words people are
Okay,
saying.
thank you.
All right, who is up next?
Oído las gracias.
Good morning,
Las
House. This
gracias.
is Susan.
Yep.
Gracias A todos
Hi,
ustedes.
Shannon.
Yes, thanks. Yeah. Susan, go ahead. I think Susan was trying to speak, but now I'm not hearing.
We also
Okay.
have really nice words from Maggie. I know she didn't raise her hand, but Maggie, if you want to come off mute and read what you wrote, it's beautiful.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, I just wanted to say hello to everyone and yeah, right, what I wrote is definitely how Commissioner Bai feels and how Acting Commissioner Elena Trueworthy feels, and I'll read it. The AOC is deeply valued and appreciated being invited to these weekly calls. We've learned so much from so many providers participating and lending their voices to this critical issue. You are much stronger in numbers and voice. Thank you to founders and organizers of this call.
Oh, wait, Maggie, I accidentally muted you. I was trying to mute the other background noise. I'm sorry. Mute Maggie. And also, could you slow down a little? Yeah. Sorry about that. Maggie, unmute.
Oh, sorry. It's amazing what
I'm
you
sorry. I accidentally muted you. My apologies. About halfway through.
Are you sure this is not intentional, Izzy? I don't know.
There was some background noise I was trying to mute, but they muted themselves as I hit mute, and so it accidentally muted you.
I understand. I just think I just want to say it's amazing what the organizers and founders of this call have done. And since the early days of COVID, when you were meeting, what, 3 days a week, I believe, and then it was down to 2, and then down to 1, and then has just kept going. And the agency's learned so much by participating and being invited to these calls. We've learned and listened to so many voices of providers.
Shoot, I did it again. Maggie, come back. I shouldn't be doing this. Okay. Thanks, Maggie.
Sorry, Maggie. I will back up, Izzy, that it is hard muting people because if someone mutes himself mid-mute,
I know, you hit it exactly the same time.
it mutes the person who's speaking. So sorry, Maggie.
And also I want to shout out here that somebody said, Rafaela said, thank you to the great work of our translator. We have had incredible translators over time, and Sandra, who is doing such an amazing job. Listen, this is complex. This is hard to translate. There's acronyms. Everyone, including me, talks too fast for a translator. There's, letters flying around. There's numbers flying around. There's crazy concepts. There's PowerPoints that didn't get translated until the last second. She is doing remarkable work. Yes, immense gratitude for Sandra. We have been able really to double the reach of these calls because of our commitment to hosting these in English and Spanish. Imagine what we could do if we had other translators in other languages. We don't have the budget for that yet, so we've prioritized Spanish, which is the primary language, the language used most after English in this community. But we've really been able to expand our reach because of that. And I know that this is probably one of the only places that many of you have to think about Spanish translation as English speakers. And so I think it's also been an incredible growth area for so many English speakers who take for granted, just that the language will be accessible to us, and the patience that we've all, the patience and the learning curve as we all learn to run these in multiple languages. But we did it. We got over the hump. Everybody's used to the language settings now. And because of that, we're able to open these up to so many more people. So anyway, that's a clap for all of us, for the patience to do that. Ariana, is your hand up?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was greeting someone else.
I was like, oh, hello. Would you like to jump in, or you don't have to?
So I am very grateful for this. I have been in early childhood for about 15 years, since I was really young. I just want to give a shout out to Meryl, because I first met him at an Early Childhood Alliance meeting in person when I was like 19 years old. And my director had took me with her to an Alliance meeting. And so I've kind of just been seeking out like as much information I can get. And so I came into the director role not too long ago. I've been in it for 4 years. So this has really helped me connect with other centers, connect with other directors, connect with other professionals, you know, in the field. And I love being able to go back to other people who are in early childhood and give them information that I've learned about. And so I just look forward to it every Monday. I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving and holiday season. And I'm really, really grateful to be in a position where I'm learning new things every day, especially with our Monday meetings.
Thank you. Yeah, and how great. I mean, listen, we've heard from some folks, you know, like Tracy or some others who have maybe been in this field for a really long time, but for someone like you who is growing into new professional roles in this field, this is a fantastic community to have. This group's got your back. So yeah, that's an awesome thing. I wasn't thinking about that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Who's up next? Anybody else want to jump in? No pressure.
I'll jump in. Good morning, buenos dias. I'm sorry, my name is Joylene Albarracin. I'm sorry I was late. I was doing a training. So I squeezed in here. I want to be thankful for this community of hardworking people, because you fight for all our little children that have no voice until they get into a center. I am from Wyndham. Wyndham recently opened up a new site. We have been what I believe homeless. I think we've moved about 20 times, and finally they build an area that's just for us. And it feels really nice when our children get to walk into a beautiful, nice space. And with that, I want to thank also the fact that I have been doing this for 30 years. So I started with Even Start. Some of you, I don't even know if you remember, but I started with Even Start 200 years ago. And now to see it where we're at, where there's new legislation, where there's more education and support for the staff that I'm hiring, it's really, I'm grateful to still be in the field 30 years later. And thank you for doing this. I love it. I sometimes can get in and then I see it later, but I look forward to it every time because I learn a lot from you.
Oh, it's great. And I love being able to see all of you. You get to you have to look at me every week, but I never get to see all of you. And this is so great for me. You know, it doesn't matter if you join or don't join, if you watch later, if you join late, if you have technical difficulties, if you get in, if you watch the recording, it doesn't matter. Like the thing is, enough of us are here every week. We're taking turns that we're able to build this. So, no, it's wonderful. All right, let's see. Everyone, just a reminder to go into either the English or Spanish feed because I don't want anyone to miss anything. And I'm going to copy and paste the instructions just in case folks joined late and need to get into either the English or Spanish interpretation feed. All right. Anybody else want to jump in? We're also not going to do a full hour probably this morning. I mean, this is like, you know, let's share thanks, love each other a little, and then we're going to move on with our day and week because I know people have probably, I hope you have Thursday and Friday off. And if you don't, I know you'll be doing this important work. All right. Anybody else want to jump in before we wrap up this morning? All right. And you can also put something into the.
I'll send you a chat.
Okay, fantastic. Exactly. You can also put something in the chat. I know folks are in the car, folks are working, they're with children, like we get it. No pressure.
I send you a chat on your name. See, if you want to read for
Thank
me, I don't want.
Great. Natalie says she would like to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to each of you at the ECC for your incredible dedication to the childcare community. Your weekly updates have been a valuable resource, providing us with timely and relevant information that has enabled us to stay ahead of the curve. Thank you for your selfless commitment to our community. You are now a cherished member of Natalie's Daycare Village. I love that. Happy Thanksgiving to you all and all the daycare providers. Thank you so much, Natalie. That is lovely. And I'm going to share it. Hold on. I'm going to also share it so everyone can see it. I love that. And I'll share it in Spanish as well. I love being part of this community. Queen, you're up.
I just like to say, I just like to say happy holiday to everyone. And as well, I want to thank the Early Care Connection because I've learned a lot. You've brought me a lot of great information. I really appreciate that. And as well, I appreciate all the providers that share information that we get from you guys. So again, happy holiday, everyone.
Thanks so much, Queen. And also, I mean, how great, like there's no way in the world that we would have ever come together in person if we would never see each other, right? I mean, like being able to have us all across the state or wherever we are. If I'm being honest, I am in New Orleans right now because I'm here. This is where my family is, and we're here for Thanksgiving. So we flew over the weekend, and I'm doing all my work from here, so we could have extra family time. So see, the magic of Zoom is that any of us can be anywhere. You can be in a classroom, you can be listening in on your headset, and we all participate in the ways that we can. So I just think that because. And actually, I think maybe the first time I used Zoom was March 16th, 2020. I don't think I had ever used Zoom before. And now I think I could teach classes on it. If anybody needs a training. So, all right, we'll do last call if anybody else wants to jump in. All right. Okay. Then we will.
Hoy en día
Oh, yep.
especial. ¿Puedo decir algo? Porque
Yes, please.
ok. Hoy un día muy especial porque tenerlo a todos ustedes aquí
Oranges for this morning.
con toda la
Yeah, I gave us already out of the bag. Just use the fruits and then.
dándole las gracias a todas las proveedoras de cuidado infantil por su trabajo, por su colaboración a este país y a ustedes. Y yo le doy gracias a Dios por todo lo que el Señor me ha dado desde que yo abrí mi negocio hasta ahora de ser la presidenta del Cuidado Infantil. Doy muchas gracias y muchas bendiciones a todos en este día y que la pasen muy bien.
Oh, gracias, Maria. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right. Okay, now it's last call. Oh, Rena. Rena, go ahead. If you want to jump in. I can't tell if you muted, unmuted, but Rena, you're welcome to join if you'd like to. All right. All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap up. People are welcome again to put something in the chat before we end. And you know, thanks again. This is just gratitude. I am so grateful to all of you. It's a beautiful community we've created, and I tear up every time. But it's a beautiful creative community we've created. I'm so happy to be a part of it. It's been wonderful to have the collaboration of course, Ava, Meryl, Liz. I know Liz is working on other stuff now, but for a long time, Liz was also helping a ton with these, and just the collaboration of all of you, you know, sharing in your needs, your topic ideas, sharing your wisdom with each other, sharing your anger, fear, happiness, you know, we've been through a lot. So anyway, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everyone. Hold on, let me mute. Okay, I think I did it right that time. I didn't mute myself. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you're traveling, I hope you are able to do that safely and easily. If you're home, I hope whatever you're cooking comes out perfectly. I hope your families are all safe and happy. And that's it. All right. Have a wonderful week. We will see you back. I guess we're going to do next week. We were talking about this. Is the Monday after Thanksgiving difficult for people? Should we wait and take that off and do it the next week? We weren't sure if that was going to be a hard day because everyone's getting back in after a break. Anyone have any opinion about it?
A regular workday.
It's a regular workday, so we just proceed as usual. All right, sounds good. We don't want to overload you all when it's like, we've had days off, I've got too much to do. So, but we'll do it. And if we have lower attendance, it's fine. You can watch the recording. And as my husband always tells me, just watch it on 1.5 speed. I'm like, I can't do that. It's a horrible, but he can do it. Maybe you all can. Okay, then we'll see you next Monday, and have a wonderful week and have a wonderful holiday. Thanks so much.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Felicidades.
Gracias.